This trip's been pretty well documented, so I just thought I'd throw something together with the helmet camera footage courtesy of Steve from Big Bike Adventures, and let you see what it looked like from my point of view. So kick back and enjoy. I won't bore you too much. So Neil upgraded his GSA with a 21-inch front wheel and a narrower back wheel, so he is much more relaxed on the dirt highways than he was before, and really good to see. So us Euro boys stuck at the back pretty much left Steve to do the navigating, and the other Chris, who was also on an Africa Twin, was in second position most of the time, so that I could help pick him up. More on that later. Yeah, sometimes you just got to stop and have a look around and just admire the absolute nothingness. Because it's generally so featureless out here, when you see something that stands out, you have plenty of time, so we pull off and have a bit of a look and explore. On the way to Birdsville, because they'd been surrounded by floods, there were actually several green sections that were quite outstanding, and vegetation all roughly the same height from when the floodwaters left. And this was just one of the first sections that we came to, so I pulled off and had a look and waited, made sure that Neil was coming along, and then rejoined with him for one of the little tar sections in between the dirt that they had on the way to Birdsville. So we rode from Birdsville on our rest day there out to play around on Big Red, Little Red, which this is Little Red, and I also rode over and back over Nemesis and over the flat over the other side and back, just to see what it was like to do the couple of hard dunes, which comes up a bit later. So yeah, it was surprisingly hard to ride downhill, funnily enough. You had to actually get your head around getting a little bit of pace up, so this is one of the times that I helped Chris pick up his bike we're not going to count them because I ran out of fingers and toes, but I probably picked up Chris's bike more than anyone else. Neil laid his DSA down a few times as well on this same hill, and in his video and in Chris's video there's pictures of me getting Neil's bike back up here later on. But yeah, it does take a little bit of getting your head around just how hard it is to ride down when you don't have the power on. The front end just doesn't go where you want, but you know, after a day or so in the dunes, you'd be completely used to it and powering downhill. But yeah, no biggie. With a couple of people picking up these big bikes without the gear on them is pretty easy. Then we rode the internal track from Little Red over to Big Red, and from there had a bit of a look around at what it was like to ride between them. So this is me coming up the other side of Nemesis, having a look at what it would have been like to finish doing the Simpson crossing like we wanted to before the road closures stopped our plan of riding a supported ride with Barry and his BT50 carrying our fuel and water and camping gear and food and everything but water. But that couldn't happen this year because of the road closures. So yeah, I just went over Nemesis, which I'm just coming down the side of here now and looking at Big Red, which you've seen in, you know, so many of the other guys' videos when they've finished everyone's videos doing the last couple of dunes. So on the 790 without any gear on it was pretty easy. First time I went up Big Red while Steve was filming me with the drone, I actually didn't keep the power high enough up in the revs, so I didn't get up the left hand side, but I also went up the one of the steeper tracks. But yeah, as the day went on, I think I went up and down 8 or 9 times, and got up all but one time right at the start on the left hand side, and one time when I just didn't hit it hard enough because all the people that were watching the sunset wanted to see one of the bikes come up, and they were pretty much spread all around up the top, so I didn't power up as hard as I needed to, and it got into traction control territory. But this is me coming up, I don't know, my second or third time, I guess, something like that, and I preferred just to find a little bit of slightly virgin track when you're getting right up the top, just so you're not, you know, getting mucked around. So I get up the top here, and then Steve tells me that he didn't actually have the drone on me for the shot. I thought he was kidding at first, and then he assures me that no, he's quite serious. He didn't get the shot, and he wants me to go do it again while he's got the drone up. So I head over to the side to go down and come back up for the Big Bike Adventures filming of the day that we had at Big Red. So yeah, nothing exciting, but if you watch it you get a little bit of an idea of how steep it is. It's pretty much free falling at the top here where I'm about to roll over now, down to reasonably steep for the you know, in between the tracks, and of course it's all turned up by the fact that 10 days before 10,000 people were at the dunes for the Big Red Bash, and lots of them had come and gone. So these tracks were pretty soft, and I didn't let my tyres down crazily. I let them down to about 24 in the rear, 20 in the front, and if I was crossing the dunes day after day after day, I'd go down another 2 or 3 or 4 psi, probably drop it down to, I don't know, 18, 16 in the front and 20-ish, 18 in the back, and get the tyres moving a little bit more. But this one was purely just a drone shot. I checked that the drone had me in view, and couldn't really see if Steve was giving me the thumbs up or not, so I just cruised up it, and that's pretty much what we did for the afternoon at Big Red. Prior to this, I'd gone over and given Neil a hand with his bike. He couldn't get it up Little Red, the steep part that Chris fell on going downhill. Stopped him. He had 3 goes, and we'd all only had, I had a sausage roll and a bottle of water and a coffee, sort of mid-morning, and we're all running out of water and energy by this stage. But I went over and gave Neil a hand, and then him and Chris came around the other side to come back up. Then pretty much as the sun was going down, the tour groups that were there asked if anyone on a bike had have another go coming up for them for their cameras. So I dropped down and had a go for them. It wasn't the most exciting ride I've ever done. A little bit better going down than before, but like I say, coming up I didn't give it enough berries, so I'll let you have a listen to that.
That's sort of how it's done.
It took so long we drank your beer.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thanks, mate. I thought you had quite a big rooster tails coming in. Oh, well, when we start.
So that was pretty much our rest day up on Big Red, and actually quite enjoyed heading back down this dirt road. The lights on the 790 were pretty good. The road itself was hard packed sand, so good fun. And stopped on the way back and took a couple of night shots of the bike, and that was about us for this part of the trip. So I'll wind this video up with this, and I'll put something together for the Lake Eyre and Flinders bit when I get some time. So cheers for that. Have a good one. See you.